Hi guys and welcome to my channel S for Shivani. This is another video in the series of Outside Inside, which is a competition preparation series. Today we have with us the national runners-up of Marico Over the Wall competition. Let's talk to them, let's ask them the questions that you guys have, and let's hope that these people give away some of their secret mantras. Thank you so much, Rishabh, Vartika, and Harshit, for taking out time from your busy schedule and agreeing to participate in this call. I have a list of questions I have prepared, which I'm going to ask you one by one. Now, starting with the first question. What was the structure of this competition in terms of the number of rounds, what each round required you to do, submission, time frame, like whatever you want to tell us?
The competition is segregated in two phases. Phase 1 is the problem statement that Marico has for that particular season, and phase 2 is the immersion project round. Immersion project is like a live project that you do with Marico, and we won't be talking much about this round because you will already be in the top 3 winning teams by the time you reach to this round. For the phase 1 round, Marico wanted students to work on a new product development. So basically a new idea that fits with the product line of Marico. So something in the category of skincare, hair care, or probably even men grooming. So in this round, you will have to share a 2-pager document with Marico in which you will document your entire idea and the business side of it. So there is no general format of submitting your idea, but a general rule of thumb is you express your idea as clearly as possible and make sure you write the problem that you are solving that most people are facing on their day-to-day basis. Also mention the market size of this new product that you have that you are suggesting, and give a rough idea about how you are planning to scale it. After this, there will be a campus finalist round in which the top 3 teams from the idea submission round compete against each other. Here you will have to make a detailed presentation about your idea. Things like the story behind your idea, primary and secondary research that you will do, prototype of the idea, then marketing strategies that you will use to bring this product into the commercial market. The winning team from this round goes to the national round, where you are even allotted a mentor who helps you if you have any doubt for the final round. Our strategy for this round was explain the idea in the simplest way possible, show conclusive evidence of R&D behind the idea, and most importantly, practice so much for the final presentation that the entire panel would be interested to listen to you. So that is the entire structure of the competition, and the winners of this round, top 3 teams, proceed to the immersion project round, which I talked initially.
Can you throw some light on what the case required you to do? Was there, let's say, more focus on research or product innovation, or coming with a prototype? And what was the kind of guidance that you got at each step?
So yeah, now what is really required for a competition? I'll answer this question in 3 different parts. Number 1, a good idea. Now, a good idea is not something extraordinary or a groundbreaking idea. But for a good idea, you must really always ask yourself what the company stands for. Or you might look for what company has in goal for themselves in this particular year. So how do you know what company really wants out of this competition? Now, let me talk about my experience, our experience. Talking about Marico Over the Wall, company provided us with a mentor for starting from the second round itself. So that is where we got a lot of information about the company. We went sidetrack a little bit, but we were saved because we were in constant contact with him, and he helped us with sorting and filtering in our ideas and thought processes. So he also has given us a lot of insights into what company is doing right now in that particular vertical where we were actually providing our idea into. So that is why a mentor is really helpful. So now also I'll also like to highlight that a mentor is not there to feed you but actually guide you. So our mentor was very smart. He most of the time he asked us questions and we were the ones who had to answer them as if we are the ones who are launching the product. So while answering those questions, we ourselves understood that there are some things which we might not be doing right, or there are some steps which are not necessary. Number 2, filter your ideas. This is really important. Do not try to answer a bunch of problems with one idea. I understand whenever we start looking for ideas, there are multiple ideas, then we come to one idea, then we think that this idea will be a groundbreaking idea, it will solve this problem, that problem, but it sounds very generic. Now, generic is not good, especially for a company like Marico. They want you to be very specific. Now, be specific on how your idea will solve a particular problem or a particular gap which is there into the market. Now, this problem can be anything: sales channel, target audience, target region. You do not need to reach pan India in your first step. Select the regions. Do an analysis, understand your customer, understand the region, the geographies. Just do an STP, and then choose to be very specific about it. I am telling you, there is nothing better than being very clear on what you want to do. Then let's talk about number 3. The number 3 is, again, be very specific. I am insisting on this. You should be very specific about where would this new product will stand in market. I mean, choose the category. I mean, have an idea about the category. What category does this product belong to? Now, what would be the pricing? What would your customer expect out of this product? So now, how will you get all this information, what your customer wants? So this is where primary research comes into play. Primary research is very important. The very first thing I believe why it is important is when you start thinking about an idea, you have a customer in your mind, a region in your mind, you have preconceived notions. But when you start doing primary research, you come across different people with different backgrounds. So they will make you understand that their requirements are different than what you have thought. So how you can do it? You can simply form a Google form and circulate it around your campus, neighboring campuses, some old friends you know, etc. Then you can also go to the sales channels where you are thinking to launch this product and ask them questions related to what price point the customer will buy it, how will it benefit them, etc. Then wholesalers are also a really important channel. You can go and ask them questions, maybe do a one-on-one interview. Now for this one-on-one interview, you should be really careful, or really should understand the questionnaire. Now questionnaire is not merely some questions and you're asking them. It should also be something which is easy to evaluate, easy to understand. You should understand what information is provided by your customer. It should be short, simple and very crisp.
We're always hearing that, just theory won't do, you need to quantify data. So this round require you to make like a budget or something, or elaborate on it, and how much was the importance of quantifying data in this competition?
Usually in the marketing competitions such as new product development, I know it can be hard to quantify your idea and coming up with the budget for the same. Usually I have seen two problems which is happening. First problem arises to identify the cost drivers, identify which model to use and different assumptions to take. And the second problem which is usually arises is getting too much lost in the number. I know it can be difficult to find out the exact quantified number for your budget, but try to have an approx figure. So when the judges are asking any question on the numbers, you have a reason, a backing behind those numbers. As for how we created our budget, in the beginning we try to find out the ingredients, which are the ingredients which will be used in our product, and trying to find the weightage of those ingredients. And then we try to contact the suppliers and the vendor to try to get a quotation or wholesale price for those ingredients. Coming off the pricing, if it's a completely new product and you have no idea about what will be the gross profit margin on those products, you can use the current gross profit margin of the company to have an approx figure for the same. If it's an extension of an already existing product, or if similar product which is already there in the market, you can go with a competitive pricing for the same. Another thing in the cost is the major capex and the advertising budget in the beginning. To figure out this number, what you can do is you can go through the annual report, try to find different ratios which are there, which will tell you about how much company usually spend on advertisement in these kind of projects. And as for the daily expenses and for the OPEX and expenses, you can use different ratios as cost to sale ratios and operating cost to the sales ratios to try to have an approx idea about how much will be the cost for the same.
That's very well said. Can you now share some of the insights on the flow of the presentation that you guys had and finally presented? So like, is it any different for competitions which require you to innovate rather than just go about the traditional way of approaching a case study competition? So what was the flow of the presentation?
So, talking about the flow of presentation, for our campus round, there was no format for the presentation. There were some guidelines, but for national round and CSR round, there were presentation formats. So, I'll start with explaining how we formulated our presentation for campus round. So, it was a 15 slider presentation, and it was a very simple presentation. Not cluttered, very less content, but important content. So yeah, the fact that we won the campus round tells us that there is no need to have a very fancy, very hi-fi marketing kind of presentation with too much content and all. It can be as simple as you want it to be, but it should convey the message. It should convey the work you have done. So we started with the market analysis. Now, market analysis did not only contain how much the market worth of that particular category is, but we also produced the market size of other product present in the same category. Now, when you put the market size of other products available in the same categories, you yourself get ready that there will be these products will be there into our competitions, and we will have to we'll have to run a race with them. So yeah, now this telling market size of your competitors gives a sense to your panel that whatever solution you are providing, how many other solutions are there, you are aware of it. Being aware is important. So now, as I mentioned that we have focused a lot into primary research. So we did not only tell that we did primary research, we also showed it to our presentations. So whatever interviews we have conducted with the stores or sales channels or the professionals, the doctors or Ayurvedas, everybody, we put the snapshot of each interview there into the slides. So we also put some Google surveys there, the results of the Google surveys. And a very clever thing done by Harshit was that he added a simple picture which contained all the words which were used by customers for other products which are available in the market. That is how you know what your customer is not happy or happy about. So the words were negative only. So what your customer is not happy about. Now, if he is not happy about this thing, then you have to work something onto this only. We did not only stop with primary research, we did a secondary itself. Now, as we were tapping into Ayurveda product, we knew that the ingredient was not known. It is not an Indian product, the ingredient. So we did a thorough secondary research into it, and we also showed this research into our slides. So this research was consisting some articles, some research papers, and there were 2 to 3 interviews also from Ayurveda doctors, which we have included into our slides. Very different thing which we also did was we included a customer journey map into our presentation. Then we did some usual stuff, which was STP and marketing mix. Yeah. So along with that, as we know that the ingredient is not an Indian ingredient, it's a Malaysian ingredient. We knew that supply chain is going to be a difficult process. So we also highlighted how we are going to approach an efficient supply chain. After doing the Google survey, we did not only tell that this is going to be a target audience, or we did not only did the STP, but we also formulated some personas out of the analysis which we did from the Google survey. We added some graphics also. It should be attractive. Our PPT was attractive. So this was all about the presentation flow.
Can you also throw some light on the kind of frameworks that you guys had to use in this competition? So if it was from marketing, HR, ops, or whatever field, and what were they, if there were any?
Though it's a marketing competition focusing on new product development, it did require a basic element of all the fields. For example, in marketing, we use different frameworks and models to understand our customer and to understand our market. One such model was Porter 5 Forces. We use this to understand the competitiveness in this particular industry and try to find the gap which our product can cater to. One other model which we use, which was suggested by Rishabh, was Loyalty Loop, which gave a 360 view around our product. Coming to the operation, we use supply chain model. This actually helped us to understand from where we can get our R&D done, and after that, in the usual process, from procurement to manufacturing to getting the product to the customer, how the whole process will be. This helps us to see like if we can leverage the existing supply chain model which is there in the company, or we have to come up with a completely different new model depending on the product. Coming up with for the finance, we use spreadsheet model to forecast the company revenue and the profit margin, and then use tools such as discounting cash flow and payback period to understand that if the product is feasible or not. In this note, I have seen sometimes people trying to inflate their profit to have the inflate their revenue to have profit in the first year. I'll suggest that it's alright that if even if you don't have profit in the first year, or you're trying to have start getting profit from third or fourth year. On the last note, I'll say that try to avoid using these frameworks or putting them in your final presentation. These frameworks are there for your own better understanding behind your product and the idea. What I suggest is only put the information and the conclusion you derive from the framework, and only put these information in your final presentation. Because the people you are presenting it to them, they won't have that much time to go through the whole framework. So try to be crisp, try to provide them the exact information behind these frameworks.
Now, coming to my final question, and the question that makes people think, what is that one quality which you feel made you guys the winner of this competition?
It's hard to pinpoint the exact reason why we're better, but in my opinion, one of the most important factors was we did a lot of research. What happened usually when we do a new product development, we try to come up with an idea. We try to get biased by our own thinking, our own perspective of the consumer behavior or the market. What I would suggest is go out in the market and do primary research. I know secondary research is important, but I think, in my opinion, usually in these competitions, because you're going to a new market, you have to do a lot of primary research. What happened? Go out and meet the prospective customer, meet the supplier from whom you will getting your raw material for your product or the services you will be obtaining from them. Also meet competitor product, the competitor brand, and their point of sale to actually have a better understanding of the market. Because it's really important that you create a feasibility around your product. It's not going to happen that, okay, you have a really good idea, and just because of the idea you're going to win the competition. You need to find, is that idea is feasible or not, because when you're presenting it to the people over there, they are the market leader because they know the market, and when they ask a particular question about that particular product, you have to have your own, you can back your own idea for that. And also I'll suggest, use as much as possible, use company's information, because see, you can't have all the information by yourself. You can ask the company or the mentor you have, ask as much as possible information, because they already did research on them. So try to get as much information with them. It will be really helpful.
Well, we had one hell of a discussion. Thank you so much, guys, for taking out time for this. I'm really sure that all those who attended this and who are going to watch this video later will stand to gain a lot. Also, if you found something useful in this video, then like this video, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends right away.